Hello everyone, and may the fourth be with you.
Welcome to Tatooine, PodRace fans. We have perfect weather today for the Bunta Classic.
And a big turnout here from all corners of the Outer Rim territories. I see the contestants are making their way out onto the starting grid.
There he is, the reigning champion of the Bunta Classic and the crowd favorite, Suluba. The power couplings are being activated. Our glorious host, Jabba the Hutt, has moved into the arena. Wow, look at that. It's the galaxy-famous Gazgano.
It looks like the young human boy, Anakin Skywalker.
I hope he has better luck this time. And they're off.
So, as you may know, today is May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day. So, for today we'll have a special classic game, which is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which was actually featured in Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, in which we only see the Tatooine races, where Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and his apprentice Obi-Wan Kenobi meet Anakin and manage to win him through a bet with Watto. Of course they did. You don't mess with a Jedi. But since this is a racing game, we still need to race. But first things first, let's see some features that they actually had in 1999. So first of all, you've had lots of racers that you could unlock one by one by finishing each of the races. But for the first race, and since it's a tribute to Star Wars, we'll just pick Anakin and do basically the race that it's also featured in the film on Tatooine. Let's see some other of features, like the junkyard. Here you would have been able to buy different items from Watto for a discount price because they were damaged. So you just needed to win races and then just go and buy some from here.
How do they find me? They come here, they mess up my store.
Of course, you've had features like Inspect Your Vehicle, where they were basically quite detailed, and the detail is the same that you have in the race for 1999. And you needed to buy all these droids, which were here to basically fix your Podracer after every race. Even though we know in the movies Anakin would kinda crash his pod race every race, we'll try not to do that today. And here we see all our upgrades, and basically they downgrade after every race, and if they go low enough then you're out of them until they get repaired, so that's why you need droids. The more the better. So that's pretty much it with the features that the game featured back in 1999. So let's hop in and do a race on Tatooine.
Welcome to Tatooine,
Gotta say, this was one of the games of my childhood, and it still is cool after lots of years, 21 years to be more exactly. We've had there Jabba the Hutt and Watto back in the junkyard. So basically Forza is just a kid by this game when you get through all the tunnels and just crash, of course. I mean, who didn't want to drive one of these as a kid? And who doesn't now? Okay, let's just try not to crash anymore, but it's quite hard to concentrate and talk in the same time. Yeah, so basically I've got this game as a tribute to Star Wars and 4th of May, basically their birthday, for a couple of bucks from Steam, and the offer still stands till the 7th of May, so if you just wanna have a challenge, the game can be finished in roughly 2 hours, so unlocking all the vehicles, all the upgrades, and then you can just have fun in single player on the various maps and map variations. And here, oh. So they don't make games like this anymore, when you have this sense of speed through corridors. That was close. They've had all these great features, like the engines starting smoking. For a game this old, there are games in 2020 that don't have this kind of detail. The guys at LucasArts were really geniuses when it came to fantasy stuff. Of course, you've also had repair kits, or let's say droids, right in the race, which would basically stop your engine with the one that's damaged and start repairing it, and that also reflects in the game, so, and speed and everything. So again, attention to detail was great, and is still great after 21 years. This is basically the place where they start shooting the Podracers. And since back then they've thought of dynamic changes for the races, like that vehicle that we just passed. Now that our engine is a bit damaged, you also see that it started smoking even without boosting it. That was close. And the sounds, the engine sounds are just amazing. When you start boosting it, or when using the air brakes. And of course you can cut fire.
Come on, work!
As you saw, the sense of speed of this game is incredible, and it's just a test for your reflexes since 1999.
The new Galactic Pod Racing Circuit Champion, Anakin Skywalker.
And now we'll see a couple of laps from other races so that you can check out what and how they looked back in the day when they first released the game. As this is not a remake, it's the actual thing. The only remake is that it works on Windows 10 now without crashing too often, but it still crashes like every 1 hour. So now that you saw one of the races, basically in the tournament, so that you can check out the upgrade menu and everything that this game has to offer, as soon as you are done basically with all the races, which are not many, but it still takes like 2 hours to complete all of them, and some of them are quite difficult. I believe this is one of them, where if you miss and drop one level on the race, you just need to restart it, as there's no way you can catch the others. So let's try out some other PodRacers. Sebuba is quite nice because he can actually shoot flames like in the movie. So let's have a lap of each race and see how it goes.
Welcome, pod racing fans, to Ando Prime, home of the benevolent Ando.
They've actually took time to generate an intro for each of the race, or at least race environment.
The current record holder for this track is Anakin Skywalker.
And do remember, this is a game from 1999, so it still looks amazing. Missed the initial boost there. So you can see, you can shoot flames with Sebuba and basically damage the other players, just like in the movie. Yeah, I missed the entrance there. As going to cost me. This Bulba's Podracer is quite heavy. It's not as maneuverable as Anakin's.
It's a new lap record!
Yeah, and the classic, it's a new lap record. Let's see another one. And with a different vehicle. I don't know, let's try the last one. It should be one of the fastest in the game. This is basically the place where I've said that if we drop this level, but for that race that I mentioned earlier, which is actually this race too, we won't be able to catch the others because we have this whole place that we need to turn around. Let's see. We didn't miss it. So this is not a walk in the park like Forza is. This is quite a difficult game from the time when they've actually made difficult games that you've actually enjoyed when beating. And we have two more races, quick races of 1 lap each. I've actually enjoyed this racer when I was a kid, so let's give him a go too. I remember this race, it had a tunnel, a gravity tunnel, which also had asteroids in it, and I've always crashed there because I just couldn't avoid them. But maybe today's my lucky day to avoid them. This game would be remade in 2020, I think many will buy it without even thinking about it. Just imagine having all the features and graphics that 2020 can offer, like upgrading and There goes the asteroid. Upgrading, changing parts, and just tuning your own Podracer. Changing the engines, changing the appearance. All those would be possible today with all the technology that got upgraded over time. And we get to our last race for today at least. And see... Okay. I've kinda liked this guy as a child. It's basically the only pod racer that doesn't really look as a pod racer, but more like an A-10 aircraft, you know, those American aircrafts that they used to. And I think I like this one the most because it was quite resistant to impact, being made as a whole piece instead of having both engine attached.
It's a new flash record!
So that's pretty much all with today's video. Hope you've enjoyed it and had a great 4th of May and basically Star Wars Day. And if you've enjoyed the episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also use the comment section below, and if you do want a game, it's still available for a discounted price over Steam. And yeah, as many also recommend they're over Steam and tell in their reviews you might have issues with Windows 10, but I've only had like 2 crashes in 4 hours of playing, so I think that's pretty good for a 1999 game. So thank you, and may the 4th be with you.